All right, what's up and what's going on, y'all? This is Al, and coming in with another one. This is mainly about the delivery game, and I still got my opinions on it. This is mainly about how people come online, mainly content creators for the most part, and some of them tell the truth, and some of them is BSing their followers, right? And they're saying they're making this, they're saying they're doing this, they say they're doing that, and there's never no more ride-alongs. Once upon a time, these gig tubers used to do ride-alongs, right? To show the proof and what they were talking about. Going into a restaurant, picking up an order, showing on their phone how much they was about to get, what they just took an order for, go pick it up, go make that delivery. And they made a good subscriber following, right? So they were making they had a lot of people following them because at that time, hey, it was working. Now it's almost like they have to pull it out the air and try to keep it going. But we all know what's real, and we all know it's not the truth. We all know that the delivery game is dry. That is the reason why drivers have to move around from app to app to app. And if they don't move around from app to app, they have to at least have 5 to 6 different apps on their phone in order to make at least appear that you're able to make some money, because one app, 2 app does not cut it, right? You're not going to see the orders. You're going to see more lowball runs than you're going to see good ones. And it just is what it is. It is back to normalcy. In 21, when we had the pandemic, bless the ones who lost their lives to it, rest in peace. That was the time that the getting was good, right? The money was there. Everybody was able to see a good turnover for making deliveries. And it was, it wasn't a lot of miles that you put on your vehicle. You didn't have to waste a lot of gas, right? You didn't have to go far out in order to get these type of orders. If you happen to be lucky enough to be in an area where you could be around all the business, then you were going to make money because you didn't have to spend a lot of gas and waste a lot of miles and put a lot of wear and tear on your vehicle just to get out to these places. Fast forward up to 25, 26, things like that. We're back to normalcy now. You have people shopping. You have people going into restaurants, actually sitting down and eating. You have people going inside restaurants, actually taking their orders and taking them home. So they're cutting out the middleman, right, which were the delivery drivers. And if you do have some people still using the service, they're not paying, the number that we seen in 21. And a lot of that didn't even come from the customers anyway. A lot of those type of numbers came from the gig apps themselves back in 21, because they was trying to keep themselves afloat, and they paid out a lot to the drivers. Not so much now. It's $2, $4. So when I hear drivers saying they're making what they're making, let's think about that. You can always say what you make, but if you are responsible, and that is the big thing, you are responsible for everything and anything that comes along with this. You have to take care of your gas. You're responsible for your phone. You're responsible for your tires, the maintenance on the upkeep of your vehicle. You're responsible for your health, right? Because it doesn't come with benefits, right? You can take a vacation if you make enough money to do that. To me, I think it works if you have a significant other, or at least you have a roommate or somebody that can cover the cost of where you guys want to travel to, and maybe that'll take care of it. But you, as a driver that is doing this on their own full time, you have to use all your money in order to have a livelihood, right? Now, if you get lucky and you can live with someone and they don't put too much of a dent into the money you're making, then that can work too. But for the most part, a lot of times, a lot of people, when they're grown, we basically stand on our own too, and we have responsibility of self. And a lot of people don't believe in letting somebody stay for free and not participate in anything that's happening when it comes to responsibility. Nobody's going to let you do that. So these are the things that, to me, the content creators don't discuss. They're not telling you everything. They can sit up there and get in there in 3 minutes and say, oh, I make $35 to $40 an hour. Okay. Out of that $35 to $40 an hour, when you get done doing the math and you sum it up, how much do you really get to take to yourself? And don't forget, you still got to pay taxes, right? Because you are self-employed, so you have to pay taxes at the end of the year. And if you have to pay that, how much money are you really making for yourself? A lot of it comes from YouTube itself, though. So that's why I call BS when I see content creators that have been doing this for a long time and they have subscribers. I think they just get on the phone and they talk and they just say whatever, man. And the reason why it works is because you're always going to have newbies. That's the reason why the apps are still able to hang around, because they're always going to have, as somebody leaves, somebody's going to come in. It's just normal. Somebody's leaving, somebody's going to come in, and they're going to be able to stay afloat, because when you're new, you don't know, right? It's going to take things out there when you're doing these deliveries to really wake you up, right? And then you're going to say, hey, this is what I signed up for. I understand I'm independent. I understand that I didn't have to do a interview. I understand I didn't have to only thing I did was a background check, and that's it. And I was in. But other than that, I don't have a salary. I never know exactly what I'm going to see, right? I go out and some days I'm going to make something and some days I'm not going to see anything, right? I may see out the day 1, maybe 3 good runs, and then the rest of them can be so-so, right? Just for me to make a little bit of something, but is this really what I signed up for? So yeah, when you hear people say they're making $35, $40 an hour or something like that, like somebody said in the messages, when somebody said that, he said, I don't believe you because you're always on your phone, right? That is what they said. And I have to agree. You never see these content creators now actually doing ride-alongs. They're going to lose money in gas. They're going to get the same orders that everybody else is getting, right? But they can grab the phone and they can trick you into believing I'm doing it, and the reason why you're not getting it is because you're doing this, right? If you were doing what I'm doing, then if you did it the way I was doing, then you would see the money coming in, right? That's what they want you to believe. So in a way, they help the apps by making drivers feel that they have to step their game up, right? They'll sit up there and say, you the man, you number one, or something like that, or give them a thumbs up and say, they rocks with you. Then you have other commenters saying that what they make, but it's not consistent. That is why it's important to have a job, right? A real job, something that you really enjoy though. Don't just take a job just to be taking a job. Get something under your belt that you will love. I came from a career and I loved every minute of it. As fast as I was in, that's as fast as it stopped for me and I retired from it. Right. So basically, I enjoyed my career. I chose it. I went down that path. And that was my beginning, my middle, and my end. And it all worked itself out. So that's why I say you don't have to just take something just to take it. If you're going to do it, make sure you're doing it because it's what you want to do. It's what's going to make you feel good, right? That you're going to have the respect that comes with it. That is what you want to do. But a lot of times people take a job, they go, and you ever see people when they go fill out applications or whatever, they just go everywhere. They don't have an idea of where they want to work. They just walk around and they walk from place to place to place, filling out all these applications. And then they wait to see who's going to call, or they wait to see who's going to text them, or they wait to see who's going to send an email to them or whatever. And they don't have no real idea of what they want to do. And you can't, because you didn't go and get the paperwork needed in order to qualify for those type of situations. You get what I'm saying? So we're talking about people that go to trade schools and things like that. If you go to trade school and you're trying to educate yourself in something, then basically what you're going to do is take that trade. And then when you go out and put yourself out there to let people know you're available, you're going to do it in that same, whatever trade you learn. And you may put it at different businesses, but it's for the same result, right? It's not saying one place is a chicken, one place is a burger, one place is Italian, right? One place is a Chinese, one is steak or something like that. No, you actually saying this is what I went and got my trade in, and this is what I want to be, what I want to do. So, right. This is from the top of the head, man. And I was just seeing a video, and when I seen it, they were saying what they made. And I said, well, making it is one thing. Keeping it is another, right? That money has to go elsewhere. You can make whatever, right? But you can't keep it. Maybe a content creator can, because they're making money from YouTube, right? So they probably, I don't even think they're even making money from the delivery game, actually. I think they just make videos, right? They just grab the camera and then they talk, and they may go out and do a delivery here. They may go do a delivery there, but that's all just for show. But their real money is coming in from YouTube. They're still making good money. They're making thousands of dollars in YouTube per month. All they got to do is keep their views going, and they're going to make their money. So that's why I say do not fall for the okie doke when it comes to content creators telling you they're making this and they're making that, because in the reality sense, if you look at their channel and then just go over to their subscribers, go over to their views content, and then just look it up on Google and ask how much would they make with these subscribers and how much do you make for these views? It'll tell you the number, and that will make more sense to what they actually make. That $30 or $40, that's nothing. It's not even a drop in the bucket for YouTube content creators, right? That are monetized. That's nothing. But they can grab the mic and they will say they're doing this, they say they're doing that. But in all actuality, they're not doing the ride-alongs anymore. They're just talking now. And that's mainly it. So with that said, I'm out. Y'all be cool. Peace. Good luck out there.